Without further ado, let the competitions unfold and may the magic of storytelling and spoken word poetry cast its spell upon us all. Welcome to an evening of inspiration, expression, and the transcendence of words.
Please join me in welcoming the Secretary of Raleigh Literary Society, Miss Sharmaine Ajmal, to share her thoughts and insights.
Guys, I think we need to clap.
Come on, clap,
guys, clap.
Thank you so much. I not intend to take up much of your time. Just want to preface it by saying that platforms like this one have become increasingly rare at my university, and the Raleigh Literary Society has always championed freedom, creativity, talent, and expression. So with the second iteration of our spoken word poetry and storytelling editions, we intend once again to commit to that and commence to it. I welcome you all to the second iteration, and I especially welcome our esteemed judges, Professor Samina Khan and Professor Munir. Thank you so much for your valuable time. Without further ado, we will now proceed with our entries.
With this, let's begin with our first participant, Ahmed Khan.
अब लाइव हुआ है जब मैंने ऐसे किया है
So ये इसका टाइम क्यों आ रहा है? That is इतना टाइम हो चुका है. Participant has 3 minutes to speak, and you will be notified after the complete.
I'm a participant of the spoken word poetry competition, and as mentioned, my name is Ahmed Khan. And before I begin, I would like to quote a couplet by Ghalib. रगों में दौड़ते फिरने की हम नहीं पाए, रगों में दौड़ते फिरने की हम नहीं पाए, जब आँख ही से न टपका तो लग जाए. If I stand alive at this point of time in history, and my tongue does not speak for the children of Gaza, I am a corpse. So today, my words are the fanciest effort to the children of Gaza. My work is titled A Loki Rabbit. This void of blankness beneath my quill lives the whispers of chaos. Beneath the skies above my quill, beneath their cries above their shrills. In the divine voids of roofless abyss, where chaos stands enveloped in nothingness, where mayhem whirls in fathomless boundaries, where eyes bleed in griefless torment, our eyes yearn for one such happiness. Where detaining children fall on deaf ground, where petrified mothers stand beyond sight, where fathers forget their sons, their daughters, memories of their bewailing mothers. Our eyes long for one such chaos. Chaos where my pain is mine, chaos where I know not the bleeding eyes of the nightmare kid's fortnight child. Chaos where I die once and never come back. Chaos to perish perpetually. The blood in my quill has filled all voids now. The shrieking children have dissolved in blood clouds. I must now be rest. So must my quill. But with whom? Amongst the resting children. Amongst chaos. Amongst rest. Thank you.
Now let's invite our next participant, Mubashir Raza.
आदाब, मैं नाम मुबशिर रज़ा है और मैं आज हिंदी की कविता पढ़ूँ. मेरे कविता का शीर्षक है मैं देखता हूँ. मैं देखता हूँ, मैं रोज़ देखता हूँ, हृदय का ज्वार मुट्ठी में थामे, क्रोध को रस्सी बांधे, विष का सैलाब उपजा मन में, मुझ में पनपा मुझ में डूबा. मैं अपंग न्याय का साक्षी, मैं रोज़ देखता हूँ. मैं रोज़ देखता हूँ और देखना कोई जुर्म तो नहीं. मैं रोज़ देखता हूँ और देखना कोई जुर्म तो नहीं. पर क्रोध बबुल हो वानी पन पे मेरी सुनकर सारे बन के एक सुर में नारा उठा, विरोध का शंख फूका गया। फिर कदम ताल कर कुछ टट्टू आए, फिर कदम ताल कर कुछ टट्टू आए, बोला बैठ जाए अब नेताजी आप सबको संबोधित करेंगे। दामन झटक नेता उठा, दामन झटक नेता उठा, सबको सबकी जात बताई, हड्डी तोड़ औकात बताई, फिर सबको एकजुट कर बोला गठबंधन की साजिश है, तुम सब मत घबराओ, मैं देखता हूँ। शुक्रिया।
Now let's welcome Sumaya Raza with applause. इंसानी जिंदगी की शुरुआत से लेकर उसके खत्म होने तक उसमें काफ़ी तब्दीली आती है, पर एक चीज़ जो हमेशा हमारे साथ रहती है वो है कागज़ के पन्ने। हालांकि ज़िंदगी के हर मकाम पे इसके किरदार मुख्तलिफ होते हैं, और आज उन्हीं कागज़ के पन्नों के ऊपर एक नज़म लेके आप सबके सामने पेश होना है। हम तो छुट्टियों में बाहर जाते थे और अब वक्त मिलने पर घर आते हैं। ये तो छुट्टियों में बाहर जाते थे और अब वक्त मिलने पर घर आते हैं। ये कागज़ के पन्ने भी क्या क्या दिन दिखाते हैं। स्याही से ख्वाबों के घरौंदे बनाते हैं, हम स्याही से ख्वाबों के घरौंदे बनाते हैं। स्याही तो मिट जाती है और ख्वाब रहते हैं, और फिर इन जवानी के पन्नों के बीच सिमटे, इन जवानी के पन्नों के बीच सिमटे वो बचपन के ख्वाब भी कागजी हो जाते हैं। ये कागज़ के पन्ने भी क्या क्या दिन दिखाते हैं। हम सबका यहाँ एक ख्वाब है कि हम सबका अपना एक घर, अपना एक मकान है, और शायद घरों से इतनी दूर आने का हमारे साथ ये मकसद है, एक छत बनाने की ख्वाहिश है। एक छत बनाने की ख्वाहिश है जो तुम जवानी बेचने आए हो। एक छत बनाने की ख्वाहिश है जो तुम जवानी बेचने आए हो। तुम एक आशियाना छोड़कर एक आशियाना खरीदने आए हो। पर इन कीमती कागज़ों की दौड़ में, कि तुम कौन से कागज़ ले आए हो। ये वो कागज़ तो नहीं जो बैंकों की लॉकरों के पीछे महफूज है। ये वो कागज़ हैं जिनमें हमारा पूरा बचपन समाया है। पर इन कागज़ों में आखिर ऐसा क्या खास है कि हम इन कागज़ों में कुछ यूँ लिखते हैं, सीन की स्याही से अलीफ के आंसू लिखते हैं, और ऐसे कागज़ के किस्से तो तमाम मिल जाते हैं, क्योंकि घरों में चिराग जलाने को घरों के चिराग जल जाते हैं। ये कागज़ के पन्ने भी क्या दिन दिखाते हैं। जिंदगी जीने का नाम है, काटने को तो सजाएं बहुत हैं, और खुद को सिकंदर बताने वाले आए हैं। दुनिया के वो सिकंदर जो कामयाबी की बुलंदियों तक पहुँच जिंदगी को अपनी शोहरत और दौलत तक महदूद रखते हैं। ये जिंदगी जीने का नाम है, काटने को तो सजाएं बहुत हैं, और खुद को सिकंदर बताने वाले आए हैं। आज अर्श का चांद कल फर्श की जान होगा, आज ये अर्श का चांद कल फर्श की जान होगा, और सिकंदर ये खुदा ने मच्छर बनाए हैं। ये मिट्टी के सिकंदर तो मिट्टी में मिल जाएंगे, और बस ये कागज़ के पन्ने की तो हैं जो बाकी रह जाएंगे। ये कागज़ के पन्ने की तो हैं जो बाकी रह जाएंगे, और उन तमाम सिकंदरों को जो बताएंगे। और आज का ये हिस्सा कल का हिस्सा होगा, और हिस्सों को पढ़ने हज़ारों आते हैं। फिर इन शीशे की चकाचौंध में चमककर तन्हाई में कहीं बुरुक हो जाते हैं, और फिर ये कागज़ के पन्ने भी तो मिट्टी बन जाते हैं।
Thank you so much. Okay, audience, just give the participants a nice round of applause. And I'd like to remind that the participants, please don't exceed the time limit, and there will be a buzzer when the 2 minutes is.
Now let's welcome our next participant with a round of applause, Benish Zubia.
Thank you, Shakira. Assalamu alaikum, and a very
hearty good evening to all. The title of my poem is Eyes That Are Blind and the Hearts Unkind. Off the scene, baby scream. Loud noises of bomb feels like a storm. Decades of injustice labeled as a thesis. Thousands of people are dying. Millions more are displaced. And we sit and watch in horror as Israel destroys the Palestinian race. When mothers and their children seek a place of sanctuary, bombs are being dropped on their head. Takes less than a second for them to be dead. Where are the human heading? Are they really alive or just living? I don't understand the human beings, the double standards in our dealings. I sympathize with the people of Palestine, but wish everyone had the same we pray. Blood is shedding like a river. There's more blood than the water. And they don't need your condolences. After all, no one remains conscientious. The world has now been shattered. They are asking for our aid. When the time comes for a reckoning, there's a huge price to be paid. Based on lies, Iraq was bombed, the whole Middle East mobbed. List of countries destroyed by the West fills a whole encyclopedia at worst. Media now speaks for money. Falsehood grows and makes them greedy. Portraying victims as villains becomes the new job of some journalists. Whether you like what I say or not, the truth never aborts. Palestine welcomes Israelis and in the worst way ends up dead. Aren't the devil's cruel stories? Brutality done by humans are more scary. Probably humanity is just the topic of discussion to write essays, poems, debates, or lectures. If it existed, many countries would not be watching genocide, partying as well as enjoying alongside. Indeed, it is not the eyes that are blind, it is the hearts that become unkind. But don't you worry, their faith is bigger than the mountains. If we had been there, we would have easily been frightened. They are the martyrs who belong to Jannah. They believe in only one God. He who is Al-Adl, the impartial, and the justice will soon be served, and the wrongdoer will have to pay the price, will have to pay the price, will have to pay the price. Thank you.
Thank you. And next, I'd like to call Farheen Sahran. Good evening to all of you present here. This is Farheen Sahran, and the title of my poem is God's Favorite Color. I wish I could hold more poems than I can grief these days. I think when God was articulating heart, He wanted it to be as delicate as it is. And so every time we go through a heartbreak, a part of us dies. If our hearts are God's favorite masterpiece, what would be His most detested work? I think God likes coloring more than He likes math. And thus there are more shades to human, each beautiful in their own way, but you still don't know why there are 37 trillion cells and not one less. And why with every heartache comes grief and not sleep. I think God breaks his crayons every time He's done coloring, because you never find other trace of the same color twice. Much like you never find the same person again, and that's his favorite colors, perhaps green. For the valleys are dressed in green, but then the valley is also covered in pashmina, red, blood red. So maybe his favorite color is red. But then there are so many other shades, that of poverty, misery, and cruelty painted poorly over the walls of the now disheveled world. So some countries are led with gold, some with petroleum black, while others remain a big blank spot. As if God left coloring midway and never took colors again. So I wonder if He has any favorites at all. Or if it is God's favorite children on earth who have named orange his favorite, sometimes green, God perhaps doesn't have any favorites. Humans have. And they keep painting cities in devastating faces until the whole country is red, blood red, and humanity dead. Thank you.
Thank you, Farheen. As we continue our poetic journey tonight, I invite our next participant, Arjun. Assalamu alaikum everyone. And I'm my self-proposed poetic title, Things I Saw Without Knowing Why. Because each and every time when I see you in that light, everything that I saw made me lose my mind. In front of that camera, I know that is not a smile. It's a mask you wore around me every time. But who's gonna believe what I saw with my eyes when all I did was sit back and enjoy? Isn't it just how it works though? You can't see it through my eyes believing what I saw. You can see is all I can do. The world works the way you like. Oh, how could I ever be more wrong, I sighed. The more I look around, the worse it gets. It's so shocking, it is all a mess. The thoughts of romanticizing life went down the drain when I saw just how everyone was framed. A set of beliefs you must follow to have an easier life. Living my truth would be harder. I accept just to thrive. Should I play along with the truth of what they believe, or should I bring my own and let them know the truth of what I believe? It's a debate every day as to how do I determine my truth while having to stay. Gave up yesterday for the lack of knowledge, giving up today for the lack of courage, and we will give up tomorrow maybe for some other reason. But one thing I won't leave behind is not knowing why. Oh, how do you seem so calm when there is an abundance in problems? Oh, you say it's an experience all in good terms. Is it because the life you lived was full of experiences? The mask you wore was pretty thick and sturdy. Just wanting to learn the ways of life, the little girl exists in the next level of life, still confused by all there is to see, wanting to understand but can't stand the peace. The dead, the dying, the sick, the mess. The more you know, the more you ignore, that's all she gets. Thank you. Thank you, Arjun. The next participant is Marin Khan. Applause, please. A very pleasant morning to one and all present here. Hazrat Abu Ubaidah said that once I asked the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, what was the first thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made when he created this universe? And he replied, it was pen. Maybe because when everything dies and there is nothing to life, the pen rises to life. And hence, today our pens rise for the dying humanity in Gaza. Here, I start my poetry entitled as, Oh, the Land of Palestine. Oh, and what else did I tell you when I told you about those scents? The scent of blood, the scent of departure, the beginning of the end. When Paris had a scent of bread, and Cairo smelled like fruit so fresh, when Beirut gave sun its smell, there was a land of solitude. A land of blood, a land of cries, a land witnessing heavenly tides. No, it didn't smell like anything but pieces of its soily coat. There were rocks with tears and rivers flew with stories to be told. It was a land which left amazement to the sun and the sky shouted, the end has begun. It was a land on which the bridge was laid, connecting the heaven to the lonely arcade. The land and smell, but it echoed. The stories of the lullaby the mother sang for the dead child lying on the road. She closed her eyes, she felt his warmth. Oh, the day when in her lap he lay. Oh, his smile when in the cradle he played. But now he lays lifeless and cold. His playmates arise from the heavenly folds. The land of blood, here I leave. Oh, do not leave my homeless mother grieve. For now I lay in my cradle again.
Tell her that the sweet child is no more in pain. What else did I tell you when I told you about those scents? The scent of love, the scent of departure, the beginning of the end. Oh yes, my dear, you didn't ask? What land I am talking about? It is that land which was green, but is now covered with endless drought. The land which once had a peaceful regime. Yes, that land, that beautiful land, the holy land of Palestine. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariam. The poetic rhythm of our evening persists with our next participant, Yusra Faruqi. Let's greet them with enthusiasm and encourage their words with a generous round of applause.
I am Mr. Faruqi and I am present here with my self-led poetry, and the topic is Echoes of Injustice. Looking at the world, I see nothing but dissent. From my open eyes, the wonderful world seems black. The sufferings, the wars, and social media content. I don't think the world is on the right track. I learned democracy at a very young age. And studying the Constitution, I believe my country is blessed. I am in my dream union, a place perfect with all aspects. Education, environment, and administration. I feel so blessed. But just the thing, I am unable to find democracy's feature where I was taught. I am expecting too much, and the reality is opposing my thoughts. Being hasty with words, all internet trollers should hang their head. Picturing myself was my favorite hobby, but now cameras are threat. That's our AI. We have people suffering every day. I am being too careful with my words and activity, hoping history may not repeat at the same place. Because at ruining self-confidence, people far too often get success. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yusra. It's my pleasure to introduce the next poet in our lineup. Please give a warm welcome to Ariba Ahmed, who is about to grace us with her creativity. Let the applause begin.
अस्सलामुअलैकुम, मैं अरीबा अहमद आपके सामने एक नज़म पेश करने जा रही हूँ जिसका उन्वान है सुनो ठहरो ज़रा। सुनो ठहरो ज़रा, बातें करते हैं। इन नज़रों में तुम्हारी किसकी तलाश है? सुकून? सुकून की तलाश है? बेशक सही है। मायूस है रूह तुम्हारी, दिल में करार नहीं है। सुनो, ये जिंदगी है, बढ़ते रहने का नाम है। क्या वक्त ने अपना सितम आजमाया है या इंसानों ने अपना रूप दिखाया है? ये वजूद तुम्हारी इतनी बोझल क्यों है? आरामगाह की तलाश है? बेशक सही है, तुम इंतहाई थके नजर आते हो। सुनो, ऐसा करो तुम, ये जो भटक रहे हो इंसानों के बीच, ठहर जाओ कहीं घनी दरख्तों के साए में, या किसी बहती नदी के किनारे, या पहाड़ों की चट्टानों पर, या आबादी से दूर खुली फिजाओं में, या ऐसी जगह जहां से आसमान और जमीन मिलती हुई मालूम दे। सुनो, यकीन करो तुम, मुसाफिर बने हो जिसकी आरज़ू में, उसकी तलाश वहीं खत्म होगी जब खामोशियों के बीच ठंडी हवाओं के झोंकों से तुम्हारा इस्तकबाल होगा। ठीक उसी वक्त महसूस होगा तुम सही वक्त पर सही जगह हो, इंसानों से दूर, खुद के करीब। सुनो, ठहरो जरा, खुद को खो ना देना इंसानों के बाजार में। बहुत कीमती हो तुम, तुम्हारी रूह भी बेइंतहा, और ये जो वजूद है तुम्हारा नाजुक है जरूरत से ज्यादा। दोबारा कह दूं इसलिए, खुद को खो ना देना कभी। सुनो, ये दुनिया है, यहाँ हर किस्म के मखलूक है। वास्ता फूलों से नहीं पड़े, ये उम्मीद बिल्कुल ना करना। कांटे हजार हैं, ये याद रखना। तुम कमजोर नहीं हो, ये भी जहन में रहे। तुमने फतह करना है हर ऊंचाइयां, ये याद रखना। शुक्रिया।
a heartfelt appreciation. Now,
Thank you, Ariba. And next we have Ayman. Please.
The title of my poetry is Eternal Silence. Poetry echoes passion, does not bring liberation. Words won't stop the war, correction will decide. I believe a child's eternal silence could. Your neutrality adds fuel to bomb innocence. Ignorant eyes cannot count the lost lives. Watching the BBC and CNN online, subaltern resistance and theories of Marx and Benjamin is for the books, says Mr. White. A father wraps golden petals of his martyred son in a cloth. You Arabs can wrap your degraded honor in your golden cloaks. Silence won't save you when nature becomes the witness. Before you sink in your lost voices, stand in your prayers. For indeed the help is near. Thank you.
thank you, Mehman. Now let's invite Sarah Kutsia on the floor.
The title of my composition is Waving Your Banner All Over the Place. Wherever this heavy silence comes from, don't let it go. We've all lived through enough seasons of discontent, and our voices become prisoners of survival. I'm thinking of my old friends soft peddling love for a nation that shouldn't exist, the minimum charity of their mouths. I'm thinking how tongueless we are supposed to be. I'm thinking how wholesome it is for them. This precision of a clean kill, their homage. Don't think they a grand England so think it is. Over and over again, saying we are, we are, we are. How valuable it is to learn to get high on the politics, to be able to master the truth, to look at it in its wake and ease it with a smile, with a poem, with a girlish wink, acknowledging but never trusting, to be able to stand up and quietly say, I am, and walk away. They say, you girls, you have so much to say. Oh, Miss daughter, oh, high flesh, oh, good eye or sad. You live with the saccharine smile of a to-be little queen, all of your potential wasted in a flicker. I say what is ever electric, what is ever singing, what is ever artful, what is ever truth. A head start, a prayer, a light, and amendment is your way.
Thank you so much. Now let's invite Hamza Tamu to share the narrative with us.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon everyone. I am Hamza Tamu, a student of 11th class 11th at ANU Girls High School. Today I will be sharing about myself and my younger sister Aisha. On September 1st, 2021, me and Aisha were walking down from school trying to clear the ride. We were going to cross the road but the cross went all the time. But my sister continued walking ahead. I noticed her disappearance and looked forward just in time to see her get past the street together. Thankfully, a stranger immediately stepped into our sister. He quickly got us an auto and took us to the nearest hospital, which was a girl 30 volunteers 200 meters away. My mind was in a maze and I had no idea what to do. Taking my next phone and phoning to all my parents, I did, telling them to come to their hospital. We reached there, the staff was there helping us almost immediately. They were not very helpful and they had stitches her breast. I was trying to call to sit outside. I heard a scream in pain and silence. It hurt me so bad to hear her screams. I was hysterical. I couldn't stop crying. My parents came and told me but it said that my sister was to get better and I was still crying. I showed her signs that they were possible to stop, but I could still hear her screams. Now, I open social media and I see the people from Palestine. Their screens unbelievably were Palestinian brands, boycott Israeli supporting brands. Remember that we are supporting most important, keep reading about online and offline. Stop feeling the pain and unprotected pain when you see their videos and hear their stories. Please don't let yourself get into the perspective. We want you to get tired and stop speaking. But please, don't. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hamza. Please, dear participants, take care of the time limit. Now, our next participant on the podium will be Khadija.
Assalamualaikum everyone. I'm Khadija, a student of BA Honours English, presenting my very first poem titled The Untold Melancholy. At midnight, I felt an irresistible urge to bend down, the chaos and havoc happening all around. There's a lot in my heart to say that I don't feel to convey. When these ruthless bonds will mend, will this futility ever end? My tears cease, eyes do not dry, my heart dead, but I try not to cry. I questioned myself till when and why, in search of truth, everything seems alive. Is there anyone trustworthy I could rely on? Yes, and indeed, the Almighty, one and alone. With shaking body, with a quivering hand, with a trembling pen, hear my words land. We have to be strong, but we aren't wrong. Perhaps we appear extreme, but we need to scream. Because neither it's a movie nor a play. It's genocide. Yes, a genocide every night and day. They are not sculptures made of clay or stones. They are humans having flesh and bones. There lies a soul and a heart and words. That soul feels pain and gloom unlike ours. A million dreams, the eyes express it shown. It seems now they all are gone. Having sleepless nights and haunting nightmares, laying in bed, it's the ceiling I stand and stare. Heart wrenched, honestly, it's the feeling I couldn't bear. For I'm a human and I genuinely care. Oh Palestinians, your valor plays in every spread it leaves. An epitome of resistance in the shadow of shattered dreams. Finally, I dare to scream. From Rafah to Haifa, Palestine will be free. From desert to sea, Palestine will be free. Inshallah. Thank you so much.
Now we will be stopping for the azan and we'll continue.
So no, live video ends for 2 and then I'll start it again. Are we going to have 2 sets after that? 2 sections. What? If we're stopping it and we're going to start it again, we're going to have 2 videos. Is that fine? It's fine, right?